travel alone.
Afternoon, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. And the floor is open for Graeme.
Graeme, just after 4 days on a surface that possibly wasn't the best suited to your attack, how sweet is that actually victory?
Yeah, look, it's I think one of the more rewarding victories we've had. I mean, it was a really good test when I thought, we were under a little bit of pressure come day 3, and we needed 2 days of big performances, and to get those performances was incredible. I think Robbie was pretty inspirational. He's 84, and everyone that contributed on that day to get us as close as possible to their total, that was going to be the key. And then it was about creating as much pressure on their batting lineup as we could. So yeah, it's a really rewarding feeling.
Do you think it's a sign of your side that despite the adversity that you faced, that somebody's going to step up with whoever it is?
Yeah, I mean the conditions were challenging. It's not often in South Africa, a spinner, obviously he's the number 1 spinner in the world for a reason. He's crafty, he's good. It's not often that a spinner plays such a dominating role, as Robbie, I'm sure, will tell you. So that, I guess from a condition point of view, it's obviously not ideal what we're expecting in South Africa, but we've got to play on what we're given, and to come through in these conditions is big for us. To win in spinning conditions when the ball's not really carrying, or it's not too much pace and bounce, is exciting.
Graeme, a lot's been made of South Africa and the new ball, but it must have been gratifying to see you be so successful with an older ball.
Yeah, it's not always easy when wickets are like this. The older ball doesn't really carry much. I think obviously Pakistan are a team that grows up on when you bowl straighter lines. That's the conditions they face. So the surface really allowed for that, which suited their style of play. Swing wasn't really too much of a factor with the wind and the heat that we had over the last few days. So, it was going to be a challenge for us with the old ball. We spoke about it before the test match, that an old ball spell could win us the test match, and it did. I think the fact that we were able to control Pakistan's run rate in the second innings to about 2.1, 2.2. I think when Misbah came in, him and Azhar Ali, we knew if we could control that game and get close to the new ball that we could hopefully strike, but we got it just before that, which was exciting.
Can you describe what makes Saeed Ajmal so difficult to face, and how you sort of try to figure him out?
Well, sometimes it can be guesswork, really. He bowls a really quick pace. I think the delayed action certainly helps him also in that. It makes it very difficult to use your feet, and obviously he's got great skill out of the hand. I think the toughest part as a batter is to pick which way the ball's going, and I think his consistency is probably something that's never spoken about. He lands a lot of balls at pace in the right areas.
6 series wins on the trot now, 14 unbeaten tests. Invincible's tag, is that something that we can lump on you, or start thinking about lumping on you?
I mean, it would be nice to get a tag that we're a very good team. I think we've earned that, but for us as a team, it's just we want to keep producing these type of results, these performances. I certainly don't think. Well, I certainly know we don't sit in the change room, believing the stuff. We know each week is a different challenge and a different obstacle, but it's nice to have that confidence in ourselves that we can perform in different places. That we're a team that can perform. And I think we've built it up through really good performances, which is exciting.
Yeah, just on Vernon, I mean, you've said great things about him over the last 18 tests. Can you just say anything more that the way you get that?
Yeah, I can say that I hope he keeps performing that way. I think Vern is also, even though he's got the results, I think he would say himself that he's still a work in progress. I think certainly he's had a few niggles of late, and I think himself would like to see his pace up a little bit. But outside that, I mean, his skill factor is just immense. The seam action that he gets out of his hand, the questions that he asks batters is probably the seam version of Ajmal. Really, it's great to stand and slip and watch that happen.
So you're actually saying he can get better than he actually can?
I think he can. I think if he can pick up a little bit of pace, which I think he's definitely got. His old ball spells will get even better, and his new ball spells are so effective. I think if we can get his old ball spells to that standard, then he hopefully can produce. But I know we're always asking a lot, but I do believe that he can get better.
Graeme, the umpires changed the whole ball. It seems to be a lot better than the whole ball.
Yeah, but our ball burst and lost its shape, so it was the right thing to change the ball.
It just seemed to do a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously the ball was a little bit harder, but I just think that we recognised that moment. We were speaking a lot as a team about that moment. I think the wicket of Asad Shafiq was obviously Misbah early on, but Robbie got him, and then that wicket of Asad Shafiq was really opened it up for us, and it was more about recognising that moment and taking it, and I think the guys did that well.
You guys are going to play Pakistan in the Emirates later this year. Have you beaten them on a week like this? Does that give you guys extra confidence when you've got to go play them in those conditions?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when we get there, this is what we expect to get. Just watching the England series that happened there, I'm sure the conditions we'll get will be similar. I think our subcontinent record has been pretty solid of late. I think solid is the right word, and if we can take that up another level, then that'd be great. To push for more wins there, I think is always the goal. But I'm sure it will be like this. So the confidence we've got today, obviously Ajmal, we would like to keep him not getting 10 wickets, but the confidence you get from winning is important.
Graeme, Misbah was saying that he thought the two turning points in the match was Robin Peterson's innings and himself getting out. Would you agree with that?
I think Robbie's innings definitely, and the guys that batted that day. As I say, it was crucial for us to get as close as possible to the total. Because having batted in that third innings, sometimes that third innings can be the toughest innings of the Test match to really set up. You're under pressure, you've got to make a play, and if you're not positive, the game can get you. So I think that's what happened to Pakistan. Obviously, Misbah's experience in their batting lineup is important. He gives the younger guys a sense of confidence. But I also feel that probably yesterday afternoon when him and Azhar Ali got together, I think that was a big session for us because the afternoon we were able to control the run rate. They didn't get away from us yesterday afternoon. So this morning we were able to come here this morning fresh and create that pressure. So I think the fact that they batted so slowly yesterday afternoon really benefited us.
He was also saying that because Pakistan doesn't get to play Test cricket in their country, they don't get so much experience, and it's having an effect on their cricket. Do you have any sympathy with that? Do you think that there is any possibility of them being able to play in their own country soon?
It's a very tough question for me to answer. I mean, I do obviously have sympathy with them playing away from home, but I think they also understand the circumstances.